One out of every 2 Indians today is under the age of 25. That's over 600 million people, most of you in the room today. Most see this as a good thing. Some see it as a potential problem if India is not able to create enough opportunities for the 200 million plus young men and women that will be graduating from college over the next 10 to 15 years. But very few see the power in the youth to create their own opportunities, to create their own jobs. The youth, after all, does not just consist of passive actors that are just waiting to be absorbed into the world around them or waiting for others to hand them opportunities on a platter. They are powerful change agents in their own right, with the ability to shape and reshape the world according to their hopes and dreams and their vision of the kind of world that they would like to live in and lead in. Over the last 1 year, I have been traveling the length and breadth of the country, meeting with hundreds of young men and women just like yourself. If there's one thing that I see, it's that today more and more young people are infused with an entrepreneurial spirit. Just like Nikhil said before me, these young men and women like the idea of creating their own path, being their own boss. And what is particularly beautiful and heartwarming to see is that they're willing to combine that entrepreneurial drive with their moral imagination to come up with powerful solutions for a whole host of social problems. Like Sandeep Mehto. Sandeep comes from the Hoshandabad district of Madhya Pradesh, one of the poorest districts in the country. 90% of the people live below the poverty line. The literacy rate is 40%. And of the handful that do complete their schooling, most drop out and never go to college. The son of a farmer, grateful that he was the first in his family to go beyond primary school. In fact, he did more than that. He got his master's degree from the Tata School of Social Sciences in social entrepreneurship. He formed a vision that every student in the country should have access to higher education if that is what he or she desires. He formed a venture to help train, mentor, and support students from some of the poorest tribal regions of Madhya Pradesh so they can realize their dream of going to college. And if that meant accompanying students who have to travel 300 kilometers to take an entrance exam while he waits and sleeps on the railway platform, so be it. That's the level of commitment that he has to realizing his vision. Just over a year into operation, he has already helped 50 students, most of whom are girls, and who will be stepping outside the bounds of their village for the first time in their life to go to some of the best universities in India. And for next year, his vision is to send 5,000 more such students to colleges and take the model to Assam as well. So let me ask you, how many of you were born after 1990? A majority of you in the room. And that's the great thing about the young generation in India today, is that they were born into a country that was already well on its way to making economic progress. So their vision for the country is remarkably different from that of generations prior, because they're not constrained by the past. They have no memory of it. So where others see failures, you see new possibilities. Where others are trapped in old beliefs and systems, you are willing to try something new. Where others feel resignation, you feel hope. And where others feel and see differences, you see oneness. Because what I am seeing is that more and more young people don't accept the inequalities that they see around them. The model of development that they embrace is one of inclusive growth that doesn't leave anyone behind. Entrepreneurship and innovation, as many of the speakers before me have already said, are the biggest drivers of progress in any society. And what these examples are showing us is that when it comes to these drivers, age is not a factor. And these are just 3 examples. There are hundreds of Manishas and Shashanks and Shamilis and Sandeeps in the making all over the country. Perhaps several of you in the room today. What they all share is a burning passion to make a difference. What they all need is parents that will encourage alternative career paths, teachers who will give them tools to remake the world and nurture their creativity, mentors that will guide them, friends who will join hands with them, and a society that will make space for them as change agents and as leaders. The young population of India is indeed the greatest wealth this country has, and if we can give wings to young people, I really do believe there is no problem too great and no force too large that a young heart on a mission cannot conquer. So if you're young and your heart is telling you that you too can change the world in your own unique way, please do not let anything drown out that voice. Raise your hands, speak up, stand up, step forward, and take action. The world needs you too. Thank you.